Welcome to the Lost Lowdown, podcast number 88, with your hosts, Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
Continuing our commentary series, we're back with episode 106, House of the Rising Sun, which focuses on everyone's favorite star-crossed lovers, Sun and Jin. Justin, I haven't seen this episode in a really, really long time. I'm just curious to see if it's as lackluster as I remember.
Me too. I barely remember it. I know for a fact that certain things happen in this episode, but I really don't remember even what the general point of the episode is.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's some hidden and forgotten gems in this episode because, I too don't really remember much of it.
Yeah, up to this point with, obviously the pilot, Tabula Rasa, Walkabout, White Rabbit, I was pretty clear on what all those episodes were about. Maybe not Tabula Rasa, the Marshall thing, but yeah, now we're entering territory of season 1. I think from now until about Solitary, this is a stretch where I'm pretty fuzzy on exactly what happens.
Yeah, the next episode is The Moth, and I think, even that's probably worse than House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
From my memory. So Confidence Man, definitely. I think I remember that one. That's a good Sawyer one.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one thing that happens in that episode, but in general, it's still kind of fuzzy to me.
Yeah.
As is all of season 1, but it'll be interesting to see what this stuff's like now.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be a whole, we're on a whole new journey with season 1, going piece by piece here and rediscovering the goodness and other.
Yeah, it's different now. I think in the past when I watched it, I a lot of the stuff that they showed, I would think, can't wait for the day they explain that, and that, we don't really have that anymore.
Yeah, the finality of it all is nice to have.
Yeah.
We know who becomes the leader of the island, which is the question on everyone's mind in House of the Rising Sun. Right?
Well.
All right, maybe not.
Yeah, not really.
The question on everyone's mind is, who's that Korean couple?
I don't know about that either, but it's certainly there. I mean, I would say that I did wonder what their deal was going to be. I mean, in general, I was somewhat curious about all the characters, before they told us about them. But as it I think they grew on me over time. But as it turned out, like you said, their story is pretty standard sort of tragic love story. It works. I don't actually remember much of the details, though, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I just remember, basically Jin being the bad guy for a while, and then he's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turned into Sun being worse.
It did turn into Sun being worse.
Which was weird. They kind of shifted it. Oh, she's cheating on him, and, and then she's gonna go collaborate with Widmore, and she's gonna shoot people, and she's all badass. And Jin's just hanging out on the island.
Yeah.
And befriending everybody and learning to speak English.
Very, very rapidly.
Yes.
Which must ease. All right. Well, you ready to dive in here?
I think so.
Here we go. I'll do the old 3, 2, 1, go, and we can all press play on go.
Sounds good.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Previously on Lost.
All right. So this is going to be a Charlie episode.
Of course. Charlie and that guy.
Can't wait to learn about that guy. They never really tell us what happened to him, as I recall.
Tell them what?
Uh-oh.
This is the first big
You don't know
secret.
anything, Saeed.
This is the first big, like, you know, as much as they were together as a group overall, you know, they really had individual subset of secrets and alliances, and, you know, it's like a reality show, you know.
Yeah, totally.
My dead father showed me. He left that out. They would think he was crazy, you know, like, they would follow him if he said that.
They would. And the guy who came face to face with the smoke monster encouraged me to be your leader. So.
Yeah, those are like the two people no one should be following right now, you know, in a rational sense. But
yeah, absolutely.
Is that an international OK symbol?
I guess so. But it didn't really matter because she understood him completely.
Yeah. Oh, sun in her garden.
Oh, is that a garden?
Oh, I don't know.
On the beach now? I don't even know what's going on.
What is she doing?
Is that just like a potted plant or something?
Where did she get that from?
I don't know. On the flight?
Is there a nursery on this island she's not telling people about? It did look like a potted plant, but I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to learn about those.
You see, I'm an actor, and I got these before I got the part on this show.
So they're going to have to make up some stuff if they mean.
But don't worry, Biling will be there.
And they'll never mention it again.
You cool with that, Kate? He won't tell you anything.
He really won't.
It's just a waste of your time. Look at this plane wreckage they're just hanging out on. That's so cool.
It is.
I'm going to sit on the wing today. That's what that guy said.
Yeah.
He's such a brute.
I know. The clear message.
Clear message. Did they give a flashback noise?
There was a little noise.
There's a little something?
Yeah. It's not as much as they did later.
Yeah, it's not the big whoosh.
And the other thing they do is they overlap the sound. Like, that's, I don't know when they stopped doing that, but.
When they did the extended whoosh, probably.
Oh, I guess so.
That's my hunch.
It's a good hunch. Maybe it's season 2.
Well, we'll find out.
We will.
An island. He's always like flowers. Me too.
Ouch.
Sounds like I wish it was 3 diamonds. While we're wishing. Why stop there, Jen? Walt's going to zap you with his powers. You better watch out. It's going to make a bird fly into your head.
I wish he really did that. That'd be amusing. Obviously, Jen's kind of overreacting. I mean, I feel like the logical thing, like, he's got to know Michael has no idea what that watch is.
It's definitely a jump in his character to be like, he saw a watch from, 20 feet or 50 feet away or more and was just like, oh, yeah, I know that's my dad's watch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tackle him before I even make sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
They just want this, drama.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. It's conflict, But I feel like the logical thing for him to do is just go up to him and, like, point at the watch and, like, just try to indicate that's his or whatever. But,
they wouldn't chain him for being logical.
That's true. Yeah, and I think they also want to make Jen look like a hothead at this point.
It's working.
It is.
Mission accomplished.
He really looks that way.
All right, so we're in another expedition. Where are these guys going? Oh, water. Okay.
Yes.
They're going to get water at the cave.
Visit the caves, the famous cave visit.
Nice. Like, what do you want to do? It's Sunday afternoon. Let's go look for new housing.
Yes. Oh, here's the mystery theme.
The mystery theme?
Yeah. Yeah, this is like the most quintessential piece of Lost music to me.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for dead bodies, you'll be out of luck, Charlie.
When we saw this in Season 6, I remembered it looking really different, but looking at it now, I don't know. Actually, it doesn't seem that different.
Speaking of drugs, you just reminded me. I have some.
I think that's what happened.
And I want to do this.
He heard the word drugs, and he's like, oh, yeah.
It's almost like a euphemism. No, literally, standing in a beehive. You picked a bad place to do drugs.
I think if you're allergic, it's not irrational. I love that. He's said that multiple times.
That means liar. What do they say things like surely?
Surely.
Like fried chicken, right, Hurley? Sun really should have tried again to explain the watch because she heard him say the cuff stay on.
Yeah.
And she should have been like, I need to make it clear it's the watch I'm talking about. But
yeah.
they can't give up that she's knows English.
Right. It's not that episode yet.
Not that episode yet. You tricked me. And agreed to work for him. In the grand scheme of things, everything's temporary.
Pretty true.
I got a credit card.
Is that what happened? On an unrelated note.
Yeah, now he's got a job. He can, afford to get a credit card. He knows he can pay it back. I would have bolted. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
The more bees that get on me, I think the worse situation I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, oh, God.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Nice one. He smacked it. That was just the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an irrational fear. Well, I don't really have an irrational fear of bees, but I am afraid that I am allergic. I've never really.
Me too.
Now.
I have the same thing.
Oh my God. We know who those two people
We
are.
certainly do. Little do they know, that's the
Little
smoke
do
monster.
they know. That's that noise they've been hearing.
God, it's weird. So weird to see that.
Uh-oh. Here's the infamous Jack's diagnosis.
Uh-oh. Someone.
I thought they were together.
Yeah, that was a continuity error. He put them together, but in this episode. Uh-oh. Classic
Nice.
Jack.
That was the biggest piece of evidence we had about them for forever.
Yep.
Than these two.
The black and white rocks, yeah. That's a different thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's way the fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, those clothes are like, what, a couple hundred years old or something?
2000.
Yeah, a couple hundred times 10.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't give a specific year, but it's like Latin-speaking years, so it's got to be at least 1,500.
Mhm.
Oh God. Her.
Mhm.
Face.
Oh, Face. Yeah, that was a great line.
I'm just gonna coin a
Great
phrase
delivery.
now. Everyone will call them that now. Yeah, it's weird when they go back there the first time. No, the second time. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, when they go back there and Hurley's like, what if we time traveled back to dinosaur times and this is us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, at that point, I feel like Jack should have said, the clothes are 40 to 50 years old, so why are you talking about dinosaur times?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. But obviously at that point they knew that they were older than that, so they weren't going to talk about the 40, 50-year thing anymore.
Yeah, totally.
I do wonder, like, when they wrote this, what they thought that was.
Mhm. Maybe they
anything.
just thought it was previous, just people who had died around that time. Just two, early inhabitants.
Yeah, that's
maybe
how it
related.
comes off.
Yeah, maybe related to the others or something, or whatever they were thinking at this point. But
yeah,
it doesn't seem like it was. But they had the white and the black rock, which is interesting. I think
that's true.
They had some idea of some overall symbology that was going to be important for that. So.
Yeah, that seems like they are going to tie it into the bigger story.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like that story is what it turned into at this point.
Mhm. No.
Not exactly.
Why were they in the cave?
Who? What are you talking about?
Mother and I forget how that did Jacob just bring them here?
I think Mother was living there.
Okay, Mother was living there.
And
that's
where they lived when they were kids, and I think Jacob stayed there.
Okay.
With her after the Man in Black left to go with the people.
I hope a bird hits you. Go catch a fish. You guys have become best friends. Kind of person that would shoot two women. That was easy. Boom.
Ooh.
Hope Michael feels good about himself. He made a kid feel bad.
He burned his own kid.
Boom. Now who graduated high school? But we still don't know why Jen is mad if this is our first time watching this.
Yeah. They've shown the watch a couple times. You can pick up on it, but they're not saying yet. They want to reveal it.
I just love this whole mystery behind this, But of course, it's going to tie into this storyline too.
Yeah. Yeah, they tied all
Yeah,
together.
this is great. This is what I think. I gained a lot of extra points towards Sun and Jin, especially Jin.
Yeah.
With this whole coming home with the blood and what did he do, and it was pretty, fairly compelling him having to work for her dad.
Yes. Yeah, they do a kind of Pulp Fiction kind of thing where we see this and then later on we see what he did before this.
Mhm. What's Pulp Fiction? I'm not familiar.
I don't know. It's something people always talk about.
Oh, okay.
But I agree. I feel like this generated story interest in their backstory.
Mhm.
Because it gives you a specific thing to wonder about.
Yeah, the honeymoon's over here, guys.
Yeah. That's the main point of that at this point, I think.
Free time. You're the kind of woman I'd die for. Wrong answer, Jack. She basically said, "Do I look fat in this dress?" And he was like, "What dress?" So Charlie got stung in the face, but he's fine. He got stung all over.
Yeah.
So is he not allergic?
Apparently not. That was apparently something he just thought was true, but wasn't.
Yeah, where's the hallelujah? I'm not allergic.
He really should be saying that. Because he could be dead if he were allergic.
Mhm. It makes no sense that he listens to Drive Shaft. I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that's really weird. But at this point, Locke just knows everything.
Mhm. Oh, this was weird.
Yeah.
Because I am the island. He could have said that right now, and then you'd believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting how there's gonna be so many of these moments that we come across where Locke is just the best thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Season 1 Locke is really, really crazy.
It's like you guys are right, but I'm not going to say you are. I'm an English gentleman, and I'm going to walk away with my dignity.
I shall chop my wood elsewhere.
Going to take my wood and shove off. That was so weird.
That was weird.
Because he's a logical guy, and Jack is at a logical point, and he's like, yeah, you're right, but I got to leave.
Mhm. Like those people.
Mhm. It's me, Sawyer.
Perhaps he did not recognize me.
You may have known me for such quips as Freckles. Wow, this is such a drama. Should we stay or should we go?
Yeah. It's weird, like knowing the behind the scenes thing that they really just stopped showing the caves in season 2 because they didn't like how the set looked.
Mhm.
You know, even though at this point now they're all making, Jack's making this big argument about why they have to live there.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, they don't need to have, it doesn't. They just get water and blue tarps and torches from, the TV show gods.
Yeah.
Like it's rarely a big issue as it is these days.
Yeah. Now I do think they get running water once they get in the hatch.
Mhm.
So that does sort of alleviate that problem. But there's still the shelter issue.
Yeah.
That they just forget about because they just live on the beach because it looks cooler.
Yeah, it's better.
I do miss the wreckage, though. That's another thing that they had to get rid of.
Mhm.
I don't remember when that happens, but it's cool to see it's still around.
I think, does the hatch implosion, do something to the wreckage? Something happens that the wreckage gets washed out, or...
Yeah, the tide comes in and it washes away.
Yeah, something. They wrote something in.
I'm pretty sure it happens at some point in season 1, but I don't remember when exactly.
The dog is bigger. Time has passed. And you're sleeping with the guy who gave you the lessons?
Right, yes, good.
I've always wanted someone else's dog. I'll take it.
I remember in a podcast someone actually asked about that dog, and they were they were like, whatever, big deal.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't think we ever see it again. But they actually answer here what happens to the dog.
Mhm.
And they could have just said, oh, what's her name? I don't know what she's supposed to be, the fence or something. Took the dog.
This lady so works for Jacob.
You think so?
Sure, why not? Prove me wrong.
I really can't.
Yeah, what if that lady was like, what's his name's wife? Dogen's wife. I guess is he supposed to be Japanese?
Yeah, technically.
What a welcome.
Oh.
Boom.
Oh, shit. We did find out in this episode.
Mhm.
Wow. I guess just the group doesn't find out till later.
Yeah. You may have seen it earlier. Yeah, he just pops up everywhere.
Mhm. I thought this was in the Moth.
No, I forget how this happens. I think the Moth is when he relapses or something. Is that when Vincent brings him the statue or something? I don't know.
The statue isn't until way later.
Yeah,
it comes from the plane.
I get confused on his little timeline of drug events.
Maybe it's just more.
Oh, the Moth was a flashback about how he got hooked, I think, maybe. Is that what the Moth is?
And maybe they continue this to a certain extent in the next episode.
Mhm. Lock Star is healing.
Yeah. That is another thing that continues with these season 1 episodes. Like, even when they're focused on something, there's a lot of other stuff.
Mhm. The island will show me the way. I just imagine he goes up there and gets the case and it's empty, and then he sees a guitar walking around the island in white shoes.
Oh, God, I wish. Oh, God, I want to see that.
It leads him somewhere.
I saw my guitar in the jungle.
It turned around, but it didn't play anything. What is it you did? What you done did, Kate?
You're not going to find out until season 2, episode 9.
At the caves where you don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
You come to the place you don't want to go to find me. That is so Kate, because that's just like her thing that she did to, what was that moment where she said, in season 6, was it Sundown or something, where she has that little snide comment to somebody, but, like, she says it, oh, don't you slow me down. Remember that line?
Oh, yeah, better not slow me down.
Yeah, but she doesn't, like, say it loud enough for him to hear. It's like,
yeah. No, it's
Wow.
earlier. It's when they're when she's leaving with like Aldo and
Oh, okay.
those
yeah,
brothers.
that's right. Yeah, it's like a good line, but she just whispers to herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty. That's very consistent for a very specific thing.
It is. That's just her style.
Mhm.
He's gonna have that handcuff for so fucking long.
Yeah, for longer than you would think.
Yeah, way longer than you would think. I think it's deep in season 2 before it goes off.
Yeah. So like, I guess no one has the key.
Yeah.
Like, they just cuff him, but like it just didn't know or think about the key.
Apparently not. Because I think even in the end they have to like saw it off. Like they never actually get a key for it.
Are those supposed to be the marshal's cuffs?
I think so. So really the key should be in the case, but I don't think they ever use it. Oh, and here we get that like different perspective in the airport.
Mhm.
Another Pulp Fiction thing.
I gotta check out this. What is it? Pulp Fiction?
You really should.
That? Can you spell it?
It's starts with a P, ends with fiction.
All right. Don't mind me. I'm just leaving you.
And then he does that.
He just carries that one of those around for any moment that he just needs it. He can tell.
Yep. I feel like here, just by doing that, he changes her life forever.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Just because he had that flower.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to have it on the island. I don't know what happened to that thing. That is weird. He's just carrying it.
He's got it now.
Okay, I'm not leaving you now.
That's so fake. Eugene Kim, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. Should go on a reel.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. End of the show.
No.
This is the first thing Hurley does.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a spot to sleep in or, get any water. I'm going to start listening to music.
Till the batteries run out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sawyer. Right now he wants to go home, but later on he's going to want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have anything to go home to.
What's Sawyer upset about?
I don't know.
He's just got a look, but I don't know what
He's
he's going
just
for.
upset in general.
Yeah. Like maybe they're all generally upset that other people left. Maybe
The camp split up, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not Sawyer's problem, but definitely Kate. Saeed.
Kate and Saeed, yeah.
They're supposed to live together.
This makes it seem like Charlie's playing this song we're listening
It
to.
does.
And it's weird that Hurley is listening to what we're listening to. Everyone else who we're seeing is hearing whatever Charlie's strumming along to.
Yeah. You won't be separated forever, don't worry.
It's weird. Kate should want to go to the caves because, like, she doesn't want to get caught.
Yeah.
And the people who want to get rescued or think they should stay at the beach,
Right.
lost. So, yeah, that's weird that it's like she doesn't want to go to the caves.
Yeah, it is weird.
Which would maximize her chance of staying hidden or whatever, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well.
She's wishy-washy like that. Like, I feel like she even did that with the freighter situation.
Yeah.
You know? She went with Locke for a while, and then she left, and then she's like, no, I'm going to leave now, and, you know, it's just sort of indecisive about the whole thing.
All right, well, House of the Rising Sun.
There it is.
Yeah, it's a good Sun and Jin episode. You know, one of their the first good, Sun and Jin backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely solidifies them as characters, and making them really interesting.
Right. It's, yeah, now we know something about, like, why they were like they were in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where they're coming from. And also the reveal that Sun speaks English.
Yeah.
The audience finds out, and I guess Michael finds out.
So Sun asked Michael for a favor. I guess the favor was to just go
cut him free.
Jin Luke cut him free. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's interesting she goes to Michael.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't share her secret with, Kate or somebody else.
Yeah.
Or Jack.
Yeah.
All right, well. Any other thoughts about
Yeah, now so we did get Adam and Eve, we got the footage that they reused 6 years later. So they had that in there, and I guess, in terms of the larger story, that's fairly significant. But on the whole, like, this was a very, like, character-centric episode. Like, it's pretty much just about the people and what they're doing and why.
Mm-hmm.
Not much about the island at all.
No, not at all.
And it's just amazing they could get away with that in season 1. Like,
Well, that's
people,
really, season 1 was definitely about setting up all the characters. Every character getting their turn at their flashbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go to you and see what your deal is. Okay, now we're going to go to you and see what your deal is.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that was interesting enough, like that I actually was into that enough to keep watching, like.
Yeah.
Even though they're not really giving us much in terms of the mystery of the island.
I think it works because it keeps piling on information that so it's not just, I think if just sort of like the Sun and Jin backstory on its own is, okay, it's kind of interesting on its own, but when you compound that with what they're going through on the island, it's that much more interesting,
Yeah.
And the show just keeps piling on these details and these stories for these characters, and it's like Kate, if you just take Kate's backstory on its own, it's like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you put that with her situation on the island, plus the interplay between everyone else's, on and off island characteristics and storylines, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
And even though it's just sort of basic character drama.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's the basic, structure of the show. Like, that's what they did for the whole time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Was just, go back and forth between these background things and these current things and just play them off each other.
Yeah, because, and if you just take her, son's on-island story this episode, it's like, she says, she's trying to tell Michael why she can't tell Jen that she speaks English. She doesn't really convey much to him, but we got the whole story.
Right.
We know how big of a deal it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not even really the full scope, because there's a whole extra part of her and Jen.
That's right.
Her and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Is it Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who's teaching English that she's having an affair with. So.
Right. Yeah. I think part of that is they haven't really written him yet, but I think that's pretty much what you're supposed to think. I mean, that was always like the weirdness of Lost to me. Like once the show starts going on, like they start piling on stuff. Where there's like they've already shown us some things that were happening, and then they say, and this is happening, and that was happening, and it starts to become like, to me, like overloaded, where at a certain point, like I don't even buy there's all that drama going on at once, like in certain situations, like particularly like with Juliet and stuff at the barracks, like, but with Sun, I mean, I guess it pretty much works. It's not too like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing, like these season 1 background episodes, they generally show us like how they ended up on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And this one sort of tells us how Sun ended up there. Like she was going to leave him, but then he shows her the flower, and at the last second she decides to not leave him, and that's basically how she ends up there. Now, we don't learn exactly why Jin is there. We don't really learn exactly what the deal with the watch is. I guess they save that for the next Sun and Jin episode.
Yeah.
They set up that mystery, like, what's Jin doing? What he says to her is he's just going to, like, work in, like, the factory or something?
Yeah, it was like training for a year, then factory for a year,
yeah.
And that was supposed to be the plan. And I think it's been, maybe this is supposed to have been 2 years or something, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, we don't know he's even carrying the package for the watch. We don't know anything about that.
Right.
We just know the watch is from the father, and we know that we don't even know we don't even know what he's into.
Right.
So we don't know a lot. We don't know a lot about that. This whole, all of the drama for them on the island about surrounding that watch. Like, we don't really know anything about it.
Yeah. Like they fill in certain details, but they're still unanswered questions.
Mm-hmm.
And they even introduce new ones, that they'll come back to later.
Yeah, Jin goes to talk to Pike, but we don't see him talk to him.
Right.
So they're saving him for later,
Yeah, I guess we haven't even seen him yet.
Yeah, they're making her father seem to be like a big bad guy,
Yeah.
You don't know my father, whatever she says to Michael.
Right.
They definitely built him up as a character.
They do, and I think that fueled there were a lot of weird, crazy theories going around that he was connected to Dharma.
Oh, totally. I remember the whole, especially I think in season 2. It's like, okay, Widmore helped build the hatches, and Pike did this with Widmore, and it's like, sure, why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, Widmore turned out to be a bit less crazy than he seemed at first.
Much less.
And, yeah, okay, maybe much less. And they did eventually, confirm that Pike and Widmore knew each other. You know, but like that's it. I mean, just in the sense that they're both like big business people. Like,
yeah, all moguls know each other, right?
Yeah, it's just the mogul club. They hang out. That's it. Nothing crazy. They didn't like collaborate. I don't think that Sun's dad ever even knew anything about the islands.
No.
I think he's just doing his own thing. He's in his own world. He doesn't have any concern about mystical islands that are out there somewhere.
Unless you're talking about Hawaii.
Yeah. I wouldn't really call that a mystical island, but, you know, hey, no offense.
Our listenership in Hawaii just dropped down. Sorry, guys.
Does an island have to be mystical? I mean, you know, is that necessary?
Listen, when the sun comes up over Mount Kilauea, you'll swear that I don't know.
Can you really end that sentence?
No, I can't.
I wasn't sure if that was going to work. Oh, God. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back next time.
Yes.
With everybody's favorite Charlie episode, The Moth.
I don't know about everybody, but it's definitely my favorite.
House of the Rising Moth.
Mhm. And my memory of it is that it just continues the Locke and Charlie thing that they introduced here. I think that's another thing I've noticed about season 1. I guess they also did this later, but it just seems particularly pronounced that every episode they spend time setting up the next one.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice convention to get you, to tag you to follow, to go to the next episode because they set up something, and then they wait to the next episode to answer it. Yeah.
It's a good. I mean, obviously they want you to keep watching, but it just seems. I don't know. It just seems stronger than what they did later. Like, I felt like later it was more like cliffhangers and stuff.
It was more plot questions that it would leave you hanging on, like, oh, now they got to this place, lost.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sort of these, like, character kind of questions and the sort of smaller storylines.
Right. And I think a lot of the time, they would do a big like cliffhanger reveal thing, and then like we wouldn't see that story for another like 4 or 5 episodes. They go off and do other stuff, Whereas here they're kind of flowing together nicely.
Yeah. Bravo, Lost Writers.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. There's definitely something to all this. It doesn't feel like the show that it turned into eventually. I mean, there's something different about season 1.
It's simple. There's a simplicity to it.
Yeah. I guess that's it. It's all the weirdness that comes later and all the baggage that comes later just hasn't been introduced yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, barring a couple of things that we've seen so far, a couple of the stranger, more eccentric elements of the show. This show could morph into something very conventional.
Yeah.
It could just be these people and they just, have their character dramas out on the island.
Right.
It doesn't. So it's interesting that it's nowhere near how crazy it's going to get yet.
Right.
It's still sort of on the jetway before taking off into crazy land.
Yeah, I mean, they're just surviving, and like, you're right, they could have made, I mean, they've already not done this, but they could have made it that they were the only ones there, and they just had to sit there and survive and, do what they could until they get rescued.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been, if this show was supposed to be about the island as purgatory, they could have, landed and then sort of not found anybody else and just kind of have their character dramas out on the island until somebody realizes, hey, wait, this is purgatory,
Yeah. Right. Somebody wakes them up.
Something. How do you realize you're in purgatory? I don't know. But
I don't know either. But
the light scatters strangely, maybe.
Yes, I'm sure that's involved.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back next time.
Oh, one more thing. Musical montages. That's another, like, signature season 1 thing.
Musical montages?
Yeah, like at the end.
Totally.
You know, putting on a song and then just going to, like, people looking sad or, you know, or looking happy, bonding. Either way it could go. You know, but, like, that's just something they didn't really do it a lot later.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely started sort of writing the drama and the conflict all the way to the end of the episode later.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having these little last segments of just people sort of doing things. But, you know, I think part of it is just, it seems like it's just natural to sort of have these montages because, just to sort of show them doing stuff. You know, show them picking up wreckage and moving it, or show them, like, doing, you know, moving into the caves and stuff like that. You know, since what they're dealing with right now is sort of not that big a deal. You know, their biggest drama right now was should we move to the caves or not? We'll go find water, you know. So they only, you know, they made like 2 trips the whole day, you know, and it's like, it sort of, I can see why I feel like, I guess my point is, early in the story, it seems like there's room for these montages.
Right.
You know, it makes sense to have them versus later on where there's just, you know, there's the conflict is so much higher.
Right. In the middle of that chaos, it would be really strange.
It'd be weird, yeah,
to
just have a big slow montage of them, you know, escaping, you know, the freighter people or something.
Right.
It's like, what are you going to show? You know?
Yeah. They're coming to kill them all, and then, like, the boat blows up, and they barely survive, and it's just, that's not really time for a montage like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's really just a function of where the story is at this point. Like, they didn't need to fill out the whole thing with plot. They could just take a little breather at the end and kind of just establish, you know, where everyone is, and, you know, generally, you know, what they're going through in the current, you know, circumstance of the cave versus the beach thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it. What?
It is nice though when Hurley's Walkman loses batteries, so we don't have that. You know, because I think it's even worse when he puts on headphones and that starts it. You know. Yeah. So it's like, oh geez, Hurley, you should get some new CDs, man.
Yeah, really. And the Jack and Kate split screen thing, like, or not split screen, but like overlapping thing, like that's really really amusing to watch in retrospect.
What do you mean, the overlapping?
Where during the montage they show them like on top of each other, you know, the images. Like I don't know what the word is for that. Yeah, just have them overlaid. Yeah. Those montages, gotta love them. You do. It's just, it really marks it out as like season 1 stuff. Mhm. Among other things. But yeah, that's oh man. I mean, it's gonna get pretty crazy pretty soon. So this doesn't really last, even in season 1. Mhm. No, it gets they're gonna have some big problems pretty soon here. Yeah. That's when we find out what really makes these people tick. They're going to be called to action. Mhm. Strange how that works. Yeah, coincidence. It's almost like someone somewhere planned this out. What? You are crazy. What a conspiracy theory. And, yeah, I'm not talking about Jacob. Huh? Who's Jacob? There is no Jacob. Mhm. That's what I thought. I don't believe in Jacob. Jacob doesn't believe in himself. Kind of true. Oh, but that's for next time. Mhm. That'll be in the next episode, right? Right. That'll be all about Jacob. The moth. It's the Jacob backstory. God, imagine if they did that. Imagine if they showed us across the sea right after we see the Adam and Eve skeletons.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
How fucking weird would that be?
Yeah, no, that'd be that'd be really crazy. That'd be awesome. I forget exactly what we see in Across the Sea, but it'd be cool if we get to see Man in Black, but we don't know he's Smokey yet.
Right.
If they could somehow pull that off at this point,
Yeah.
like introduce him as a character, but you think he just died, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, they do show him turned into the smoke
yeah,
monster.
they show him. I just remember. Yeah, that's the whole point of that part. They show him actually getting turned.
Yeah.
But if you could somehow do Across the Sea without spoiling Smokey, that'd be pretty.
Which
awesome.
I think they could actually.
Yeah.
You know, all you have to do is cut away from that throwing him into the cave thing sooner.
Mhm.
And just leave it open. What happened to him when he threw him in the cave?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just show him finding the body later, and then he lays the body. He's like, "Oh, that's them. Ah, what does it
that'd
mean?"
be good, yeah, and that'd be good red herring if you think he just died.
Yes.
And, you know, but you don't know that he's Smokey.
You really won't suspect that he is that thing.
Mhm. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
It would be really crazy. I'm not surprised they didn't do that, but still.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, I think that's it. It was, not a bad episode at all, really.
Not a bad episode at all.
I enjoyed it.
Definitely enjoyable.
I was worried going in.
Yeah, I think I'm having fears of the glass ballerina.
Oh, yes.
So this is definitely not the glass ballerina.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. We'll get there. Oh.
We will get there.
Oh, man.
But until then, thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.